John Mouse Raises the Alarm by Roger Hargreaves. It was the middle of the night, and everybody was asleep in Apple Tree Cottage. Mr. Simpkin was fast asleep in his bedroom. He was dreaming about being able to fly like a bird through the sky. In his dream, he was flapping his arms and soaring high above the open countryside. It was a beautiful dream. Ginger the cat was fast asleep in the kitchen. He was dreaming about chasing a dog, and the dog being frightened and hiding up a tree. What a lovely dream for a cat to dream. And somebody else was fast asleep that night in Apple Tree Cottage. The Mouse family. Mr. and Mrs. Mouse were asleep. Grandpa Mouse was asleep. The Mouse twins, Sophie and Amelia, were asleep in their cots, and John Mouse was asleep too. He was dreaming about riding an elephant. What a funny dream for a mouse to dream. Suddenly, in the quiet of the night, there was a small noise. A sort of breaking glass noise. This woke John Mouse from his elephant dream, and he got up, rubbed his eyes with his paws, yawned, and went to see what was happening. He opened his tiny front door, which leads out into Mr. Simpkin's dining room, and peeped out. What do you think he saw? A burglar. A big, fat, horrid burglar who had broken the dining room window of Apple Tree Cottage and was climbing into the room. John Mouse's heart went bump, 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 and he felt very small and very frightened. Oh dear, he squeaked sadly to himself. What am I to do? The burglar tiptoed quietly and cautiously across the dining room, looking for something to steal. John Mouse, hiding in the shadows, watched him. I must do something, he thought. I must go and wake up Mr. Simpkin. So he ran as quietly as he could, even quieter than the mouse normally runs, out of the dining room and up the stairs. Now, as you know, stairs in a house aren't built mouse-sized, they're people-sized. John Mouse, being mouse-sized of course, had a terrible job getting upstairs. But eventually, puffing and panting, he did. He ran into Mrs. Simpkin's bedroom. John Mouse stood by the side of the bed and squeaked. Squeak! He squeaked. Squeak, squeak, squeak! Mrs. Simpkin stayed fast asleep, still dreaming. Oh dear me, thought John Mouse. Squeak, 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 squeak! Mrs. Simpkin slept on. Oh dear me, thought John Mouse again. I must go and wake up Ginger the cat. So he ran as fast as his paws would carry him, out of the bedroom and down the stairs, and in through the dining room door. Just as the burglar was coming out of the dining room door, John Mouse looked up and saw to his horror the burglar's big boot about to come down on top of him and squash him. Luckily, John Mouse is a quick-thinking mouse, and he managed to jump out of the way. The burglar, carrying some silver knives and forks he had stolen from the dining room, didn't notice the small figure of John Mouse. He went off across the hall into Mr. Simpkin's study. John Mouse stood by the dining room door with his heart going bump, bump, bump again. Then he ran to the kitchen to wake Ginger the cat. Ginger the cat was still dreaming. John Mouse stood by his basket and squeaked at the top of his squeak. Squeak, 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 squeak! Ginger the cat slept on. John Mouse even tugged Ginger's whiskers, but still Ginger slept on. Then John Mouse saw a ball of string. That gave John Mouse an idea. We said John Mouse is a quick-thinking mouse, didn't we? John Mouse threaded the ball of string across the kitchen floor and tied it to the leg of the kitchen cupboard. Then he rolled the ball of string, unwinding it as he went, across the kitchen and into the dining room. Then he wound the string around the leg of a chair. Then he took the string across to another chair and tied the other end of the piece of string to that chair leg. Then he hid and waited. The big fat burglar, by this time, had stolen a lovely oak clock from the study and a box full of money from Mr. Simpkin's desk, as well as the knives and forks in the dining room. The burglar grinned a foxy grin. And now it was time to go. And picking up his bag of swag, you know what swag is, don't you? He went out of the study, and across the hall, and into the dining room, and towards the window, and suddenly... Crash! The burglar tripped over the string. Bang! The burglar fell to the floor. Wallop! The burglar hit his head. Ouch! The burglar said. Tug, the string pulled the kitchen cupboard, and up into the air went all the cups and saucers and saucepans and knives and forks and spoons and rolling pins and everything for the kitchen cupboard. Ding dong, clatter, crash, clash, chink, clink. They all fell onto Ginger the cat. Meow! Squeaked Ginger with more of an ow than a wee. What? Mr. Simpkin woke up. Jump went Mr. Simpkin out of his bed. Hurry! Mr. Simpkin ran downstairs. Ooh! The burglar sat on the floor rubbing his head. Got you! Mr. Simpkin seized the burglar. Squeak, 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 squeak! Exclaimed Mr. and Mrs. Mouse, and Grandpa Mouse, and Sophie Mouse, and Amelia Mouse, who had all got up to see what the hullabaloo was all about. Good! Squeaked John Mouse. Then Mr. Simpkin called the police, who arrested the burglar and took him away. Later, after John Mouse had told his family about everything, and after Mr. Simpkin had tied it up and wondered who it was that tied the string and raised the alarm, everybody went back to bed. All was peace and quiet in Appletree Cottage. Mr. Simpkin was dreaming about flying. Ginger was dreaming about chasing dogs, and John Mouse, with a little mousy smile on his face, dreamed a dream that went crash, bang, wallop, ouch, tug, ding dong, clatter, crash, clank, ching, clink, meow, with more of an owl than me. What? Jump, hurry, ooh, got you, squeak, 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 good. And that is the end of this John Mouse story.